We are now one day away from the start of the AFC Asian Cup. Now, it may be starting in the beginning of 2024, but this is very much the 2023 edition of the AFC Asian Cup, a tournament which India qualified for and incidentally have thus made it the first time ever in their history that they've qualified for back-to-back editions of the tournament. Don't forget, they qualified in 2019 too, and now in 2023. It's the first time they've qualified consecutively. We've done a detailed video on India's history at the mix in the recent past, but there's also a lot of young, fresh talent that have started to come through courtesy of the ISL, the Indian Super League, India's domestic top flight league. So there's plenty of talent there to pick from, and of course that made it a little tough for the head coach Igor Stimac to actually finalize. Of course, bit unfortunate, you've had a few players miss out to injuries as well, so it isn't exactly what you'd call India's strongest squad, but it is the strongest squad given circumstances. That being said, let's look at long last what exactly or who exactly the men are who will be shouldering the hopes of 1 crore people going into this particular edition of the tournament. It's not an easy draw for India. Would be a minor miracle if they can make it to the second round for the first time ever in history. But hope, as they say, springs eternal in the world of sport. And let's now look at the players who will be shouldering the hopes of 1 billion Indians. We'll start off with the goalkeepers because this is probably the one position which is the easiest to sort. You'll only ever have one player playing in this particular position, but India have 3 options for the shot stopper. There is, of course, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, there is an Amrinder Singh, and there is Vishal Kait. Now, of all these 3, there's no doubt about the fact that Gurpreet Singh Sandhu is the undisputed first choice when it comes to shot stopping. He's a premier goalkeeper, India's best goalkeeper by a country mile, someone who has been the first choice for a number of years now. He's been a player who, of course, has played in Europe. He's been a top dog when it comes to the Indian domestic scene as well. Undoubtedly, India's finest goalkeeper, whether it be in shot stopping, whether it be when it comes to playing out from the back, everything he's got down pat. But the good thing is that India do have quality depth as well. Amrinder Singh has been India's second choice for a number of years, and of course he's been impressive with his performances, and considering the fact that he plays, of course, from with the club that he plays for right now is a big club. He shouldered plenty of pressure in that regard, so it's no surprise to see him there and thereabouts as well. Vishal Kait is someone who's been there when it comes to, let's say, a few teams in the domestic the Indian Super League, but in recent times definitely has risen to prominence with the Odisha FC. They're undisputed number 1, and someone who has, of course, set himself apart with some very good performances. So even if a Gurpreet were to be injured, God forbid, I would hope it doesn't happen, you do have quality options on the bench to turn to. Amrinder would most likely be that second choice, but you never really know. The manager may just turn to Vishal Kait, and truth be told, neither of them are bad options in that regard. But of course, as I said, only one player starts, and that favourite has to be Gurpreet. There's no two ways about it. When it comes to defenders, India do have a fair bit of depth, let's say. There's 8 players who will be playing, but of course, given the formation that India usually play, will usually involve a 4-man defense. Means that only 4 of these players will in fact be vying for or will be guaranteed starters. Let's go over the 8 defenders first. You've got Akash Mishra, Lalchand Dunga, Mehtab Singh, Nikhil Pujari, of course, Pritam Kothal, the veteran, Rahul Bheke, another veteran, Sandesh Jingan, the undisputed leader of this defense, and of course, there is a Subhashish Bose as well. Of these 8, if you ask me, I think the 4 who are definitely going to be starting. So you've got right back, 2 centre backs, and a left back. Nikhil Pujari would definitely be the first choice right back. He's someone who has been quietly consistent for the past 2-3 years now, was part of the Hyderabad FC side that lifted the ISL a couple of seasons back. So he's definitely there. Pritam Kothal will be the backup right back to Nikhil Pujari. At centre back, you definitely are starting with a Sandesh Jingan. There's no two ways about that. And alongside him, you're most likely going for a Rahul Bheke. Now, it is, of course, Bheke is a quality player. There's no two ways about that. But India a little bit weaker here, given that there's no Anwar Ali. Anwar Ali would have been the undisputed first choice pair, would be Jingan and Anwar. But Anwar's, of course, out of the squad with an injury, so that's a bit unfortunate. Bheke will be the person who'd step into the squad and the playing 11 in this case. As for left back, Akash Mishra seems like the most likely choice, although there is a case to be made for a Subhashish Bose as well. So it'll be a close call, but I think Akash will edge it out just by that little bit. The others, of course, Lalchand Dunga would be a backup centre back. Same with, of course, Subhashish will be the backup left. Mehtab, another one who will be backing up the centre back. So there's depth there. You have 2 players for every position, and that's fairly good because again, tactically also a lot of them are very different. So whilst Pujari is someone who can attack and defend very well, Pritham Kotal probably as a right back is more on the defensive side. So you will actually have options in that regard, and that's good. Speaking of options, now it's time to take a look at India's midfield options. And again, depth, as I said, there's plenty there because you would most likely be playing only 3 of these players, because more often than not, India will start in a 4-3-3, which means 3 midfielders are starting and you have 6 options. And in fact, India's bench strength here is so good that if you go over some of the names, a player who you may be expecting to be a starter might not even necessarily be guaranteed to start. But let's quickly go over the 6 options we have. You've got an Anirudh Thapa, Brandon Fernandes, you've got Laling Maiwa Ralte, you've got Sahal Abdul Samad, Deepak Tangri, and of course Suresh Singh Wangjam. Now, of these 6, the undisputed first 2 starters, if you're making a playing 11 for the Indian team, undisputed first 2 would definitely be a Suresh Singh Wangjam and of course a Lalwing Maya Ralte. Both of them have to be starting come what may, and it says a lot that Anirudh Thapa, someone who a few years back was seen as a future India captain, is now guaranteed to be starting for India in this particular edition of the AFC Asian Cup. Remember, Thapa was a goal scorer as well in 2019 when India beat Thailand in the AFC Asian Cup. Not necessarily guaranteed to be a starter. He's still there in the squad, does possess plenty of quality, but he may not be the first choice. Again, as I said, Lalwing Maya Aphuya Ralte is someone who's been definitely, he's nailed down a spot with the kind of performances he's been putting in. Same with the Suresh Singh Wangjam. As for who would be the attacking-minded options of the 2, well, there's only 2 options left. There's of course a Sahal Abdul Samad and a Brandon Fernandes. Sahal Abdul Samad would have probably been the first choice to be that attacking 8/number 10, someone who will bomb forwards, support the forwards. But unfortunately, he is out. He's not out per se, but he is injured, not expected to be fully fit until at least the second game, although we don't quite know what exactly his injury status is, because there are reports that he may not be fully fit throughout the tournament either. So we don't really know. In that sense, Brandon Fernandes will undoubtedly be the one who will step in to play that role. Brandon Fernandes, of course, a top quality player, someone who has been plugging away in the domestic scene for a long time now. Finally getting his chance at the international level, one would hope, considering he's all but certain to start the first game, that he can have a positive impact. And now we come to the most interesting part, the goal scorers, the forwards, or who would be your wingers and striker. Now, as for who your striker will be, I'm going to get it out there quickly. No one is displacing Sunil Chhetri unless something really bad happens. So Chhetri, your skipper, your leader, your legend, whatever it is you want to call him, he's all of those and then some, will be your first choice striker in the center. So the real question then is, who exactly would be his backups, and who would be the players who would be supporting him in that starting 11. Now Chhetri, as I said, guaranteed to be your first choice striker. If you don't want to play him, then of course there's a Manveer Singh, someone who's very physical forward, would be a good option off the bench as well, because he's someone who's a little much taller, has a more direct style of play as compared to Chhetri, would be an interesting option. There's an Ishant Pandita as well, although Ishant Pandita is one selection which I think caught a lot of people by surprise, because he's not even a guaranteed starter for his club at this point in time. So it's a bit surprising, but he's in the squad and could be another interesting option. There's even, of course, a Vikram Singh who could very well be a backup option, whether it be as a striker or on either side of the wings as well. Now that we've gone over these options, if you're looking at wingers, potentially you've got 5 major options for 2 positions. As I said, the competition there gets really stiff, and all of these players are top-notch players. Just take nothing away from any of them. The 5 options you've got a Liston Kalako, you've got a Mahesh Singh Nauram, you've got an Adanta Singh, Rahul KP, and of course Lalinjwala Changte. All these 5, all players who you'd be expecting to do top stuff, and as I said, of these 5, only 2 are guaranteed to start. So who those 2 could be? Well, I have my theory. One, I think on the right wing, you're definitely seeing Lalinjwala Changte start. Changte has been a creative genius of the right wing for Mumbai City FC in the past probably 1.5, 2 seasons. He's been one of their key players, someone who can come up with the goals, whether it be goals, assists, his speed, his directness, all of it makes him a tough player. And the fact that he's left-footed, of course, means he gives you an inverted option. The left wing, you've got 2 potential options. You've got a Liston Kalako and you've got Mahesh Singh. If you're wondering why it is I haven't picked an Udanta, well, that's because I think Udanta will be the backup to a Changte, similar players, similar roles. But Changte definitely ahead right now. As for Rahul KP, he too would be taking up a similar role. Good player, but most likely going to be a backup. On the left then, that means you're vying for two positions, two players vying for one position. There's Liston Kalako and there's Mahesh Singh Nawaram. And based on recent selections, you'd say that Mahesh Singh Nawaram would probably be the favourite to start off the left. Yes, he's been impressive for his club East Bengal as well. But of course, Liston Kalako has also been impressive for his club. But Mahesh does actually have that advantage that he's been starting games more regularly for the Indian team, which means that he's starting. So who are the three forwards then you're going with? Mahesh Singh, you've got Laliteswara Changte, and the attack will be led by Sunil Chhetri. So that is potentially, that is of course all of the players there who you will be seeing. It's a big squad, as I said. You're going to be seeing a lot of players, and considering the fact that in a tournament you can sometimes see plan Bs, you might want to make tactical tweaks. No playing 11 that we predict right now can be 100% guarantee, but these are the 26 players who will be shouldering India's hopes in the AFC Asian Cup. Who do you think will be that key player? And please don't go with obvious answers like Chhetri, Gurpreet or Sandesh. Delve a little deeper. Let me know in the comments who you think the key players could be beyond these three. And of course, don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, then go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now though, from my side, it's goodbye.